Good morning, everyone. We're going to get started here in the knockout rounds in F1 in Schools North America National Finals. Can we give a round of applause to all the teams that competed yesterday, all the times you guys took? Let's just give yourselves a round of applause here. In the ballroom, we do have the bracket by seed, and we're going to show that on screen for the stream real quick about all the seeding. And I'm going to go over exactly what is going to happen today and exactly how the seeding process worked. For seeding, the seeding order for the first knockout rounds was determined through seeding all teams using the average fastest total race time they achieved from the reaction racing event. Cars judged to have critical performance. Regulation failures will have 0.5 seconds per performance regulation failure per car added to their fastest total time for seeding purposes. And there is a formula in the regulations on page 30 out of 52 for teams that are curious. Moving on to the knockout procedures. During the knockout competition, both race cars will be used. Cars are launched in the manual driver reaction mode with 2 races total. 1 race in each lane for each round of the knockout. The team with the fastest total race time as displayed on the start gate from the 2 races conducted is the winner of that knockout round. So if Team A had a fastest time in the first round and Team B had another fastest time, we'll see just who's faster from either of the 2 times, so that makes sense. If Team A has both the fastest time, then Team A wins. If Team B has the fastest time, then Team B wins. If there's any tie, of course, which is highly unlikely, but just in case there are rules for that procedure, it is a sudden death match. If you have any questions, you're free to also pop on over here. I have the PDF open, happy to go through the knockout competition and seeding formula with the teams. So the first race for today, if we can have our competitors pop on up, please. We have Sakari Racing and STS Aerospace Juno. Sakari seated 7th with STS Aerospace Juno rated 10th. Come on over to your cars, please. We will get started. Can we get a round of applause for the first round of the knockouts here? So in between each knockout round, teams will be able to have 5 minutes to inspect the car, regardless if they need to fix something or just want to check anything and make sure everything is okay. So the first 2 races will occur for your seed round, and then you'll be able to have 5 minutes to check out your car, and that goes all the way down. On deck after Sakari Racing and STS, Renaissant Racing and Hawane Racing Team. Renaissant seated 6th with Hawane rated 11th. So if those teams just gear up and get prepped to get ready, you will be after this knockout round with Sakari Racing and STS Aerospace Juno. It is 2 races for both of your, let's make that clear. 2 races and you're using each of your cars. Later on, the teams will have a scrutineering session with the judges and staff to go over every single thing that occurred this past 2 days about your car, your performance, your presentations, and kind of just learn from and see what you can do for next year, see what you can improve upon, and what went really, really well for your team and what they loved. Had a lot of great feedback from the sessions later on the Thursday evening. They're kind of excited to get that feedback. It was very close competition. We had the numbers checked and rechecked by not only folks in this room, but we double-checked with a lot of the staff around the world because the times were so inherently close. So I think all of you should, the big takeaway here is to be extremely proud of yourself by how close and the quality of this competition here. Let's move on over to the track as the cars get prepped. STS Aerospace with a 1.394 for this first knockout race in this bracket. They are now swapping lanes, and Sakari has a chance to respond. Again, the time to beat is a 1.394. It is the total time. Everyone is so quiet. I feel like I have to be quiet. The tension in this room is palpable. Sakari received a total time of 1.539. However, the time of 1.394 is the fastest of the two rounds. Please give our competitors a round of applause for making it this far to the knockout rounds. And congratulations, of course, to STS Aerospace Juno for moving on over. Sakari, thank you guys so much for your incredible car, your incredible seating, and it's been such a fun time. STS Aerospace Juno moves on to the next knockout round. There is 5 minutes for car servicing for STS Aerospace Juno until the next round. However, Renaissant Racing and Hawane Racing Team, if you can come on over to the chairs, we will get your cars set up. Renaissant is seated higher, 6th, with Hawane at 11th. For those on stream, as a reminder, the knockout competition procedure. There are 2 races within the bracket selection. Each nominates, the top seed team nominates their car for the first race and then races their second car in the second race. There are 2 races, whomever has the fastest time amongst the 2 races. Not an average, not a total, it's whomever has the fastest time from the 2 races. Next set of teams starting up. From our previous bracket, the winner was STS Aerospace Juneau. In their next round, they'll be racing Redemption Racing, according to our brackets. But currently, the next race you will be watching is 6th seed Renaissant Racing versus 11th seed Hawane Racing Team. Moving on from this race, whomsoever is the winner will race the 3rd seed Pulse Racing. And our first race is underway, Renaissant versus Hawane. Renaissant Racing takes the time of 1.450 for the first of 2 races. All greens on the board with reaction and race time as well. Hawane does have a chance to respond in the second race. Again, Hawane has to beat a time of 1.450 to move on to the next round. And a possibility of a tie, there is a sudden death match. However, we do go to the 3rd decimal place. So be very, very impressed. And Renaissant takes the bracket with a 1.470 with their time in the first race, faster at a 1.450. Congratulations, Renaissant, for moving on to your bracket to the next round. Renaissant will be racing the 3rd seed Pulse Racing in the next round. However, currently they have 5 minutes just to check, inspect their car with no penalties being accrued. Congratulations to Hawane Racing for making it here to the finals. Appreciate you guys and the hard work that you put into your cars, the time into the teams. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But Renaissant will currently be moving on. Up next, Momentum Racing and Accelerate ATX, our first seed versus our 8th seed. If the teams can come on over to the chairs behind me as we get your cars prepped and the previous brackets cars off the track. Currently, we've completed 2 of the brackets with STS Aerospace Juno moving on to race Redemption Racing in the next, and then Renaissant Racing and Hawane, Renaissant moving on to verse the 3rd seed Pulse Racing. Currently up, 1st seed Momentum Racing versus 8th seed Accelerate ATX. Here with Momentum Racing, the 1st seed. How does it feel to be 1st seed in all of this? And how was yesterday? It must have gone extremely well for you presentation-wise, very little penalties, and the car extremely quick.
I'd say it's encouraging. It means we're doing something right. But yesterday was really fun, just meeting all the new teams and also getting to compete, doing all of our presentations. That all went well. We definitely say our car design needs work if we make it further, but it's been going good. Can't complain.
Well, later on, you'll have those scrutineering rounds. You'll hear from the judges and any engineers talking about the car, your presentation and such. So excited to hear the feedback there and how you guys can hopefully apply it for next year. Congratulations for making it this far. Prior to the cars being set on the track for each round, each team will be required to nominate which car, A or B, they will use for their first race. Each team's other car will be used for the second race, which is what you just saw on stream. They are teams determining which car they want to put in which lane for which race. Remember, if you're looking for the rule set of the seating, of what is happening today in the knockout rounds, any scheduling, please visit f1inschoolsna.org. You can find all the PDFs for today's national finals, as well as the rule and scoring sheet that we use to determine the cars in the seating process and the knockout rules. Or if you're on stream and you're interested in starting an F1 in Schools program, you check out there to see how to get started and see the rules and regulations your team will have to require, regardless if you're in the same school, different schools, or homeschooling. You are more than welcome to join the F1 in Schools North America program. First race swept by Accelerate ATX with a time of 1.376. Now they get to swap lanes, and could Accelerate keep that fast time and keep the win? Currently 1.376 is the time to beat. Second race shortly underway as we finish getting them ready. Teams will check out if they are okay with the display and race set. Accelerate again with the fastest time of a 1.412. Accelerate, congratulations to moving on to the next round of today's knockout rounds. Another applause for Accelerate ATX here. Your 8th seed, beating out your 1st seed, Momentum Racing. Momentum, guys, congratulations for making it thus far. It's been great to have you in the competition. Up next, 4th seed Aeros Racing and 5th Cosmic Racing. Please come on up to the chairs behind me, and we will get your cars set on track. Again, congratulations to Accelerate ATX for moving on to the next round. Aeros Racing being our 4th seed today, and Cosmic Racing being our 5th seed today. Here with Aeros Racing, our fourth seed. So, how did yesterday go? Seeing that you're now the fourth seed versus the fifth seed, how are we feeling? And have you learned anything from yesterday that you guys might apply for today?
Yeah, we're feeling pretty good. We're really happy with the way the competition is going. We're really happy with the pit display, our interviews, and all of our competition elements. Obviously, we were hoping for a slightly faster time, but we're still proud of our car, and we're really excited to see where it's going. One thing we learned from yesterday, seeing a lot of other cars as well, is that stability is really, really key in this competition. You got to go through so many rounds. So ensuring that our car is stable, hopefully it is. So fingers crossed for Aeros Racing.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Good luck, guys. Thank you so much. Here we are with Cosmic. How are we doing today? How are we feeling?
Good. I think we're ready to race. Yeah.
Anything you guys learned from yesterday that you might be applying to today that you might have seen other teams do or something from your races?
Well, I've noticed some people like to put their face really close to the lights. I don't think it works, but I might try it.
You still think the hands behind the back is the way to go?
Oh, definitely, of course.
Yeah, I've seen no one else has stolen that from you yet or has borrowed that from you yet, so I think you have a pretty good chance.
Yeah, they think the tactic's not real, but it is, so.
Well, there's only one way to find out. We have Cosmic Racing, fifth seed versus our fourth seed, Aeros Racing, coming on up shortly as we get the cars set for the grid. The teams do determine which car they use for which race, and then they swap lanes and which cars, either A or B. The teams have determined their cars and which lane they like to race in for races 1 and 2. Currently the setup underway. Don't forget, teams have 5 minutes to inspect and just check out their cars after each matchup. This gives them a chance to make sure the cars are in top shape for the next bracket rounds. Currently, we're looking at Aeros Racing versus Cosmic Racing. Up next will be Redemption Racing versus STS Aerospace, and Pulse Racing versus Renaissant Racing. So those teams can get geared up. Whatever pre-race rituals they have, I would suggest you do them now. First race underway. Aeros Racing with the fastest time for race one of a 1.439. Cosmic does have the fastest reaction time, however, total time is what counts, with Aeros Racing taking the first win. Now swapping cars and swapping lanes while Aeros sweep the bracket. Remember, the time to beat is a 1.439. Aeros takes a beating their time of a 1.359. Congratulations to Aeros Racing for sweeping the bracket and beating their first race time at a 1.359. Let's give a round of applause to both of our competitors here. Congratulations to Aeros Racing and Cosmic Ray Racing. As we set the cars for our next grid, we have Redemption Racing versus STS Aerospace. Redemption rated second with STS Aerospace Juno seeded 10th. Here in our brackets, it is Redemption versus Aero. As a reminder, our final race will take place later this afternoon before the dinners and the award ceremonies. So we will showcase all the races here on stream just a little bit before the 4 p.m. race for our finale. Between that gap time, we will end the stream. However, the teams will have to go through scrutineering, where they learn about what they did well, what they can improve upon through their processes, their presentation, and their car build. For those watching, there are team roles when you start an F1 in Schools North America program. In order to compete, the teams must allocate job roles to all of the members. Ideally, one role should be designated for each person. Some examples could be team managers that are responsible for managing the team and all project management efforts, resource managers responsible for organizing time, materials, equipment, sponsorship and marketing managers responsible for generating sponsorship proposals for potential partners, contacting firms, and marketing the team through different digital and physical media. Your graphic designer for team branding and marketing materials, team logo, the car paint scheme, design engineer responsible for styling and aerodynamically performance of the car, and manufacturing responsible for the manufacturing of the car and constraints of the machining process. Each team can have access to the rules and regulations before any of the finales or competitions. This is great to showcase all the possible roles, not only in F1, but in all of motorsports. A lot of the time it's showcased about drivers or team managers. However, everything can be possible to run a team, and everything is possible regardless of the job. You have IT, PR, media, social media, as well as press officers, PR folks. You can have a degree, you can be a doctor and become an IndyCar medical director like Dr. Julia Visor, as well as a degree in chemistry to be embedded within teams, such as Fiona McEwen from Red Bull Racing, who actually works for ExxonMobil and does fuel testing for the Red Bull teams. Here with Redemption Racing, you are the second seed. The day must have been extremely, extremely awesome for you yesterday. How does it feel to be here, and what are the vibes?
We're so excited, and we're very proud of how far we've gotten, and we're gonna crush it, basically.
Absolutely crush it. Also, I was very impressed to let people know, you guys are matching everywhere from your t-shirts, your pants, your shoes. Yes. It's very, very impressive. When I asked the reason, would you mind letting the folks on the stream know the reason?
So we want to just be very uniform and identifiable. Like, you see us with our sunglasses or our bucket hats, you're like, oh, that's Redemption. You know it's them.
Absolutely. Teamwork and team branding at play here. If the teams can go on to the track to pick which car in which lane, which car should go first in the race and which car should go second, and their preferences. Here with Aerospace, do you know they are the 10th seed versus the 2nd seed? How did that feel winning the first set of races with the team? And how does it feel now moving on forward?
I have no doubt in our engineering. I think we'll do great, and we'll just see.
Let's go. I love that confidence, teams. Good luck for moving on from the first set in the brackets. Moving on now to racing, our 2nd seed, Redemption Racing. We'll see if the times the teams can put on the board. Strong teamwork all around amongst our matchups here, and very incredibly impressive to see how the teams have exemplified that teamwork, that camaraderie through whether the matching uniforms, their pit displays, and the hard work they put in throughout the months and maybe even years to get here. Redemption Racing taking that fastest total race time of a 1.390. So Redemption clinching that first race out of 2. Now they'll swap lanes and swap the cars that were used. Can Redemption take that second win? Second race getting underway. And Redemption takes it again. A clean sweep here for the first two races. Their time of a 1.409, but they had the fastest time from the first race of 1.390. Thank you so much to STS Aerospace, Juno, for your time coming all the way out here and supporting our fellow racers. Congratulations to Redemption Racing and moving on to the next rounds of brackets. As we get the cars reset, up next, Pulse Racing versus Renaissant Racing. Pulse, our third seed bracket, versus 6 of Renaissant Racing. Here I am with Renaissant Racing. How was it beating that in your first bracket there and then now moving on through the rounds?
It feels really good because we worked really hard to get here, so we're super excited to see how this competition keeps going for us.
Is there anything you learned from yesterday that you think about applying today that might be helping you?
I think it really helps that we have a super stable car, so we've been able to kind of predict like how it's going to go because we haven't had to make too many fixes. And I think we've also learned like reaction time matters a lot, so we've been working on those too.
Awesome. Congratulations, guys, for making it this far, and we're excited to see what racing you can come up with now. Good luck. Moving on back to the track, they're just removing the cars from the previous race and setting up for our next matchup, Pulse versus Renaissant. Here with our third seed, Pulse Racing. How does it feel to be making it thus far and getting that bye and making it into these brackets so strongly?
I think that we've done really well. I'm really surprised. We have a couple strategies picked out for our car, so we're hoping for the best result right now. And I'm pretty confident that we're going to be able to pull out a good result in the brackets.
I love that confidence. I think it just helps so tremendously much, just getting in, focusing in, and the teamwork you guys have exemplified. I've seen you guys just making sure, talking with each other, huddling with each other, making sure each other are okay. How important is teamwork to you guys in your friendship?
Teamwork is a lot. Communication is a lot, too. You can get so far with that, and I think we've been pretty good with that so far.
Absolutely. Congratulations for making it thus far, and congrats on the third seed here. Moving on back to the track, I believe they're going to ask you in a second which cars you'd like to race and your preference in which lane. First race underway. Pulse Racing takes that first race with a 1.423, the fastest time here of the first race. Pulse versus Renaissant. Now they swap lanes, swap cars. You know the drill. Can Pulse keep that fastest time? Currently the time to beat 1.423. As a reminder, the winner of this race will move on to Race Redemption Racing. Pulse Racing takes it with a time of 1.415. Yet again, the fastest time here in the second race. Congratulations, Pulse, for moving through the bracket. Congratulations, moving to the top four. Thank you, thank you, thank you, STS Aerospace, Juno, and thank you guys for all being here. Octane appreciated, Renaissant appreciated, Woodbury Forest, Accelerate, going through all the team names, because thank you guys for so much. We have our final four coming up next. Can we give a round of applause to all the competitors, please? Momentum, Accelerate, Aeros, Cosmic Redemption, Pulse, Octane, Aerospace, Sakari, Cosmic Racing, Woodbury Forest. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Getting the cars off track now, moving on to our final four in the bracket. We do have Accelerate ATX and Aeros Racing coming up next with Pulse versus Redemption. Accelerate being our 8th seed and the remaining teams being top 2, 3, and 4 seeds. And we have a little bit of a Cinderella story going on here for us today. Accelerate moving on in versing Aeros Racing next. Again, the teams that just competed do have 5 minutes to just review, look over, and double check their cars that everything is all set. And we will start our final four competitions shortly. As a reminder, the final race will take place later this afternoon. Teams currently selecting their preference of which car and which lane the top seed will start from. Remember, a little change up here as we go through the cars and some scrutineering and regulation rule check. We're actually going to move on to our next pair of races. So can Redemption Racing and Pulse Racing meet our judges here at the car start, grid start, please, as we get your cars ready for your matchup. As a reminder, Redemption Racing is our second seed with Pulse as our third seed. So very close racing about to start. Pulse versus Redemption, the first race underway here for our second and third seeds. Pulse Racing taking that speed, but is it so crazy close? Pulse with a 1.353 for the overall total fastest speed time compared to a 1.388. Pulse taking that first race out of 2. Can Redemption respond with a faster race in the next one? 1.353 is the time to beat from Pulse Racing. Wow, Redemption with a 1.351. The previous time was a 1.353 with Redemption moving on to the finals. That was insanely close. That was 2.002 or 2,000ths of a second difference on that fast speed time. Can we give it up for Pulse for those incredible reaction and speed times? Congratulations for making it thus far, and incredible work on your car in that speed. But with 2,000ths of a second, Redemption makes it on through to the finale. Getting the track reset, our next race will be Accelerate ATX versus Aeros Racing. Accelerate, as a reminder, was our 8th seed, with Aeros being the 4th seed. So again, a little bit of a Cinderella story here, seeing what the teams can put up. You can sense them getting ready, doing their pre-race switch rolls. So what will occur in the next races, and who will make it to the final to verse Redemption with that 2,000ths of a second win? First race underway here for Aeros versus Accelerate ATX. Our 8th seed against our 4th seed. Wow, Accelerate with a 1.387, and that reaction time of a 0.54. But Accelerate takes that first race win. However, there is a chance to respond, of course, in the second race, but will Accelerate sweep with that time? The time to beat, 1.387. And remember, this is for the final race against Redemption Racing. Second race underway here. If we can wrap up any conversations to give our competitors the best environment here, just checking out the final setup. It'll be moments away. Accelerate yet again with a 1.426. Accelerating, moving on to the final competition against Redemption. Can we give a round of applause for all our competitors and our finalists? Accelerate ATX, congratulations, and Redemption Racing. Let's go! That's going to be a long break. Oh, it's going to be a long break. That's a good idea. I had the mic on. After 2 days of racing, come down to the final race later this afternoon. We have Redemption Racing and Accelerate ATX. As a reminder, the 8th seed versus our 2nd seed. So tune in around 4 p.m. as we'll be back after some scrutineering. Teams get to learn their feedback about what their car builds, learning from the judges about their presentation, and kind of what went right and what they can learn from for future Formula One in Schools North America competitions. Congratulations to all our competitors for getting thus far, putting in all the time and work. And of course, have to thank parents, guardians, teachers, schools, all the sponsors for supporting these F1 in School North America programs and taking the time to make it possible. Of course, big shout out to our sponsors, and make sure to tune in at 4 p.m. to see the F1 in Schools North America National Finals finale.